Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome you back to another Wealth Wednesdays with Dion. And in today's episode, I want to talk about the step before you begin investing. Of course, you all know that I assist professionals and entrepreneurs with creating and managing their own stock portfolio so that they will have wealth and a nice nest egg in the future. And also those who want financial freedom earlier than later, they can also do that through stock market investing, and then we go on to trading for income and that type of thing. But there is a step before you begin even thinking about investing. Now, by nature, I am a person who has always loved money, loved finance, and the study of finance. But I want to make sure that I make it clear it has not always been a great road for me financially. And that's because I had my own struggles with overspending and getting into debt and having a hard time getting my way out of those situations. But I have learned through that, and I want to share a couple of things that I want you to think about before you begin investing. The first thing is to make sure that you have a plan for your household. In other words, if something happens to you, do you have life insurance? That is one of the main things that I ask whenever I am on a call, a financial coaching call, is do you have life insurance? If something happens to you, what would happen to your family? You need to see and get a quote and see how much that would be for a term policy. Even if it's just to cover your burial, it would definitely save your loved ones from having to do things that they may not want to do in order to bury you. And if you can get the most, as far as the most coverage for your term policy, that would be great as well, because you can definitely give them something to start over with or to continue living on, especially if you are the breadwinner in your family. So that's number one. See if you have a life insurance policy that is adequate enough to cover expenses if anything were to happen to you. If you do not have the money for a life insurance policy after you get that quote, number two, I want you to look at your cash flow plan for your household. This is also called a budget. So I don't use the word budget because it seems limiting, but it's basically making sure that you tell your money where to go. Whenever you are doing your cash flow plan for your household, I want you to audit every single thing. A lot of times what you're paying for those subscription services is more than enough to cover the cost of a term insurance policy. So do a financial audit of your own bank statement and see if there are any memberships or subscriptions that you can get rid of and that would cut your monthly expenses, and you could better use those expenses somewhere else, or those funds somewhere else. So number one, insurance. Number two, a cash flow plan for your household or a budget. And number three, look at the amount of debt that you have currently. If there is any way for you to expedite the payoff process for that, you will thank yourself later. Those funds can be used also to look at investing, whether it's in real estate, starting your own business, or even the stock market. You are going to need money for that. So, just take a look at everything that you're paying money to. You're paying Chase and you're paying all these other creditors and everything. You need to figure out how you can pay yourself so that you can plan for your financial future. Because one thing is for sure, one day will come and you will not be able to work, or you will not want to work. One of those things is going to happen. And so now is the time to prepare for that. So before you start investing, look at your finances. Make sure you have insurance. Look at your debt. See if you can pay that down, especially the high interest credit cards that you may have. And Lord, please stop charging if you are charging. That was a struggle of mine many years ago. But I want to make sure that everybody understands that if you are charging in order to support your lifestyle, you are basically living a lie, a lifestyle that you can't afford. Unfortunately, it's not like you can't ever get those things, but right now is not the time to be charging up credit cards, especially with interest rates going up as high as they are. So that is a hard pill to swallow, but I want everybody to do those things and make sure that you have a solid foundation for your financial life, and definitely look into investing. We have our next cohort coming up in June. We take small groups of individuals through how to look at the stock market, how to evaluate and analyze companies, how to build your own stock portfolio so that you can start getting income from these companies instead of just being a consumer. So if you are interested in that, please feel free to click the link in my bio. And thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week for another Wealth Wednesdays with Dion. Talk to you.